Good evening, everyone. Thank you for your patience. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the Rockwood Board of Education meeting. The purpose of this meeting is to conduct the business of the district, hear reports about our progress, and listen to the community on important issues. Sorry. We want to remind all of our visitors that we expect the audience to remain civil and respectful at all times as the board conducts its business. We appreciate your cooperation and that you took the time to attend tonight's meeting. The first order of business is approval of the agenda, and the motion is to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? If there is no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Hearing none, the ayes have it, and the motion passes. Next is to approve the Board of Education meeting minutes for August 28th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? If none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it, and that motion passes. We do not have any patron comments tonight, but I bet we do have superintendent comments.
Indeed. Thank you very much, President Midyett. Yesterday, our country experienced acts of violence at a high school in Colorado and at a university in Utah. And those are the reasons in which our flags are at half-staff today. Our hearts go out to everyone that has been impacted by this violence in both of these cases. Safety is paramount for us as a school district, and I just wanted to acknowledge that we extend our thoughts and our sympathy to those who are picking up the pieces as a result of both of these absolutely tragic events. As we transition here, congratulations to the 22 Rockwood School District students who have been named semifinalists for the National Merit Scholarship Program. Each year, approximately 16,000 high school seniors from around the nation are selected as semifinalists for this extremely prestigious program, which gives them the opportunity to continue in the competition for some 6,930 National Merit scholarships. And those in total are worth nearly $26 million, and that typically happens in the spring. This pool of semifinalists represents less than 1% of all U.S. high school seniors. Lafayette High School and Marquette High School have the second and third most semifinalists, respectively, of any public school district or high school in any public school district in the state of Missouri. Last year, out of Rockwood's 22 semifinalists, 14 earned National Merit Scholarships. A special congratulations to these outstanding Rockwood students. They most definitely deserve a round of applause. Rockwood has been named to the Forbes list of America's best in-state employers for 2025. Rockwood ranked 16th overall in the state, 10th out of employers that are headquartered in Missouri, and first out of 4 school districts on the list. To compile this year's list, Forbes surveyed more than 160,000 employees who work for a company of at least 500 people within the United States. Survey respondents were asked how likely they were to recommend their employer on a scale from 0 to 10, and were also asked to evaluate their workplace based on multiple criteria. This prestigious ranking highlights the district's commitment and ultimate dedication to its employees and the broader community that it serves. And I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our nearly 3,500 staff members for making Rockwood such an outstanding educational community. It's hard to believe, but today marks 24 years. It's the 24th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. And communities in the Rockwood School District mark the occasion by holding events to recognize and to thank our service members as well as our first responders. Lafayette students, staff, and community members join service members and first responders for the school's annual Patriot Day Remembrance Ceremony. And that was just at the start of the school day, just before the school day at Lafayette. It also included a presentation of colors by the school's Missouri 81st Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, and a performance by the Vox Solis Choir, and a Lancer Regiment Marching Band bugler. In the afternoon, Blevins Elementary 4th grade students presented snacks and handmade thank you cards to our first responders at their school as a part of their service learning project. We value our continued partnership with our community, especially our first responder community, and we would like to thank them for continuing to help make our schools stay safe and be welcoming places for all. And last for this evening, during the first week of school, Werther Elementary parent and Army National Guard Major Jeremy Eidelman returned from a 9-month overseas deployment. On August 20th, he surprised his 3 children by showing up in their classrooms at Werther and signing them out of school for the day. Let's take a look at that.
This is my dad. He's been employed since September in Poland.
So we just got Piper and we'll go get paper.
Yeah.
Just surprise her. Family's the most important. It always is. Number one. And so, so it feels really, really great to be back and just be able to hug my family, because that's what I miss the most, is just hanging out with them, hugging them, playing with them. It's something that's been sorely missed on for sure.
Major Eidelman, welcome home, and thank you to all of our service members and to all that serve. Thank you, President Midget.
Thank you. Well, I have something tonight, and I want to congratulate Sarah Boyer for completing her certification, board member certification through MSBA. I even have a certificate for you. And I hear 18 hours of training, is that correct? And you did it in record time. That's what I was told. So congratulations.
Well done.
And nice job.
It was very informative. Like, it was a really good. I'm still like crying from that video. Thank you. It's not from the certificate. No, thank you. It was really interesting learning about finances and all the things about being a board member.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on board. We appreciate it. Any other board comments?
I was just going to say, Director Romberg, Director Mignette, myself, and Director Boyer attended the Missouri State School Board's Regional Conference. Was that last week? Feels like it was a month ago. And we talked about just different topics that were related to state legislation. Cell phone policies, homeschool students that can participate in sports, things like that, and how it's impacting local districts. And so it was a great evening of collaboration with other local districts and always educational. And in my opinion, in the 3 years I've been on the board, it was the best one that I've attended.
It's
So
good.
It was very
Really
good.
All right. If not, we'll move on to the approval of the consent agenda items 8.02 through 8.01. And the motion is to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
So moved.
Second? Okay. Any discussion?
Director Annette, I'd like
Yes.
to pull out 8.14
Right?
and acknowledge our public gifts. The Marquette Baseball Boosters have donated $46,300 to their baseball program for some of the synthetic turf across their fields. And again, without our boosters and families and supporting our district, we couldn't do all that we do. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Tammy. Hearing no more discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Hearing none, that motion passes. Next, we have the first of our presentations by Dr. Paul Godwin. And the first will be Rockwood Summer Academy Report.
Good evening, Board and Dr. Kane. I'm excited to talk to you about the wrap-up and kind of a recap of Summer Academy of 25. Some of you may know, but this was the first for myself, Dr. Rose, and Dr. Virginia. So this has been, it was a fantastic learning experience for all of us, but I have to say, these two right here did a fantastic job of really picking up and making it their own, and it was a very successful summer. So I'm very excited to share. Brought them here. They're going to talk about some of the highlights here at the end. Not only do we have two great coordinators for Summer Academy, there were several amazing administrators who led their sites. I won't read their names, but they're all listed right there. Each one of them did a fantastic job. Some of them were returning in their roles. Some of them may have stepped up from an AP to a principal role, and some of them, this was their very first administrative experience. With all that new, they did a fantastic job of making it almost a seamless transition into the Summer Academy. Just kind of a recap where we were this summer, we had 4 different sites. We were at Bowles, Blevins, Babbler, and Westridge. And middle school, we were at Selvage and Eureka High. And the 2 high schools, we were at Marquette and Eureka High School. And we rolled from June 2nd to June 27th. And dates have not been selected just yet, but we do have our first Summer Academy meeting set for October 1st to get the ball rolling and start determining those sites and dates. So already talking summer of 2026. Some of the fee-based programs we had, Mike Seppi with Community Ed and David Herod with Early Childhood, they kept the doors open, and almost 11,000 participants in some Community Ed activities. Adventure Club had over 800 folks, and Early Childhood, there were 70 students in full-day summer preschool program. So they were busy in their respected divisions there. Some of the numbers that we looked at this summer, we had a little decline from the 2024 summer with 1,190 of in-person, and we had 13,084 in our virtual learning. This slide right here is showing what that attendance looked like. Getting to school in the summer for some might have been a little bit of a challenge, but you know, it was good learning to be had. But 90% for elementary, 80% for our middle, and 94% for our high school. And again, these were the sites for our fee-based summer programs with our Community Ed, Adventure Club, and Childhood. Some of the offerings we had at our Rockwood Summer Academy at at the elementary level, we had math and ELA. Middle school, we had intervention-based math and reading programs. And then in the high school, we had some recovery courses, and we also had some first-time credit courses. Some of those high schoolers trying to knock out some of those things in the summer so they can focus on some of maybe the more strenuous courses during the school year. The reason these two are here is to talk about the highlights and the fun things that they got to see throughout the course of the summer. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Rose and Dr. Regina.
Hi, good evening. As Dr. Godwin mentioned, I'm Teresa Rose. I currently serve at Chesterfield Elementary as the assistant principal, but this summer I was overseeing the 4 elementary sites that were available for our students. It was the experience that I didn't know that I really needed. I left the summer thinking, I don't know if it filled my bucket more than it filled the bucket of the kids. It was such a wonderful opportunity to be able to go into buildings each and every day and to see my own personal students from Chesterfield who were at the Babbler site. I know which kiddos are struggling on a daily basis, and to see them laughing, connecting, building those relationships with their teachers that they didn't always have such a strong belief in themselves or that confidence in themselves. I watched that fold out and display throughout the entire summer school experience. I had a little guy that's in my building that would probably visit my office once or twice a week, and not one issue in Summer Academy. And in fact, his Summer Academy teacher won an award through the St. Louis County Library, and she emailed me last week and asked if she could come and visit 2 of the students. So those connections that they made in the summer went right into the school year, and then the faces of my 2 little guys that saw that Summer Academy teacher that they connected with was everything, meant everything. The students that attend during the summer, I really feel like they get that extra boost as they go into the next grade level, feeling like they're not so far behind, that they can catch up a little bit more with their peers. And I also feel like that challenge they feel during the school year when they're not at that same level at times, that's taken away in the summer. And they're able to kind of be on an even playing field, and they feel that success, which in turn gives them extra practice and then builds that confidence. So when they walk in August, they kind of feel like, I've got this, I'm ready to go. So thank you for giving me the opportunity. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to do this summer, and it was such a wonderful experience.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Kane. Once again, my name is Dr. Rick Regina. I serve as an assistant principal at Marquette High School, a position I've had for 13 years, 26 years overall in the building. For 2 years, I was a Summer Academy assistant principal, and then this year was my first year as a coordinator. I was very fortunate that I was able to visit each site at least three times a week to see all the learning that was going on. And I've got a few highlights, statistics that I think were important. Number one, 100% of the secondary level were staffed by Rockwood staff members or special school district staff members who are placed in Rockwood. And I think that made a huge impact on our kids because there were familiar faces in the building every day. 99.4% of middle school students who were dedicated to the program completed the program. 99.8% of in-person high school students who participated earned credit. 99.1% of online students that received a grade earned credit. And then 62 high school students were able to earn more than 1 credit. This put them in a position to once again graduate with their cohort. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention a few staff members specifically, but in Rockwood, we do whatever it takes to ensure all students realize their potential. And we had a unique situation where we needed some flexibility, and I had 5 staff members that were very flexible and made some students, some are very successful. Taylor Rosehill, Mary Filer, Geralda Rudy, Karen Happel, and Mike McDonald went above and beyond and were very flexible in doing some things to help ensure that all students learn this summer. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity, and I look forward to this summer.
That is all we have. Any questions for these two?
Thank you guys for putting the extra time. I know you do a lot beyond your normal school day to prepare for this, for Summer Academy. So thank you for stepping up and taking a leadership role.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What?
Questions? So, or do you have more, are you done? No, okay. No, the only question, as you look toward 26, obviously you're going to look at things that worked, things that need to be maybe areas of concern. And I know the equity across the district, and we've talked about this, that we can't control who enrolls. We do need to look at the criteria for enrollment and making sure that all the right kids are getting there and that they're getting all the support that they need across the district. So I'm sure that when you look at all those numbers and you do your planning, that those have to be factors that we're going to be taken into concern.
100%. Those are the things that Dr. Rose and I especially talked about at the elementary level, and being consistent across the board, all 19 elementaries, of what is that criteria, what does it look like, and how can we make it a level playing field to get the right kids in the right spot.
Right.
Just a comment or something to think about. You mentioned the energy that you saw over the summer, and so how do we capture that energy and have that same energy in the normal school year? You know, are there differences of approach? Are there different things we do in the summer? Because frankly, if you think about it, the kids are in school in summer, so you would think you would start with a downer, but instead you're telling me you've got smiling faces and attentions and maybe less disciplinary problems. So it might be worth thinking, how do we take some of that experience? What are some of those lessons? What are some of the things we did? And can we bring that into the regular school year?
I think that where the struggle is at times is we have such high-performing schools, and which is a wonderful thing. I mean, that's what makes Rockwood Rockwood, because our schools are so high-performing, but you do have some of those kiddos that may, you know, especially our littles, that might have a learning disability or might have an anxiety disorder or might compare themselves to their peers, especially as they go into 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. They're aware that they're farther behind. And I mean, I have to give the kudos to our staff. I mean, the staff that we hire for the summer is beyond amazing. Those principals are out there making it seem like it's you know, you want to be here. Like, you want to be at Summer Academy. But I see that during our regular school year as well. I see our staff stepping up and making it a top-notch experience all through the year. But I think that when those kiddos that struggle get to Summer Academy, it kind of levels the playing field as far as they don't feel that pressure because they don't see the peers around them succeeding to such a high level. They see themselves coming in and they are repeating a little bit of the curriculum that's been given in a different way. And they have a different teacher or a different approach. Some of the opportunities they have are more hands-on, so they're able to learn in a different modality than they might do during the school year, which I think helps bring down that pressure that they feel that they have to reach a certain level.
You know, that might be something to think about when we advocate for who should go to summer school or have that conversation with parents, is that this is not a punishment, but this is an opportunity for your child to get back on the right course at the right pace, maybe have some more individualized attention than they would during the school year, so that the next year is better than it would have been had they not gone to that event. But certainly
and I think
something
that's
to think
the
about.
language we try to give them, that there's some unfinished learning that we need to just catch up on in the summer so that they feel so confident when they walk in August that they don't feel like they're behind the 8 ball and feeling bad about themselves. They can step right in. And I mean, I've seen and witnessed the confidence level of kids just, and you might see that too at the high school, just go through the roof. They're ready to walk in and learn where they may not have had that experience had they not attended.
Yeah.
Having attended several of the summer school sites during the summer, the level of success of the students is what makes the difference. They felt successful that they just didn't achieve during the school year. And it really put them in a frame of mind of wanting to be there and continue to grow. And that's attributed to the staff and all the work that's gone into it.
And we had some staff that decided to, we had a staff member that has been a facilitator and a coach in reading for decades, and she had not done summer school before, and she said, I need to know how to coach my teachers during the school year in the elementary level. So she stepped in and she taught a class, and I would go and visit her 2 or 3 times a week, and I was gleaning information from her, like, what can we take back during the school year? To your point, it was so interesting to see her perspective and what she thought and how we can add on during the regular school year.
What's the average class size for Summer Academy?
It can get large. It would be much more efficient if it was smaller.
Okay.
I would say some of the class sizes can be up to 22.
Okay.
20. The thing is that, and that ends up being like our first and our second grade. It's difficult. It's a challenging dynamic because as it goes up into 4th and 5th grade, it's much smaller. You could have 9 or 10 kids in a class.
So do we provide the support mechanisms like we do in a traditional school year? If the class sizes get larger, do we have teacher assistants or classroom assistants?
We do.
Okay.
We do have classroom assistants who go and support. I mean, if the class sizes were smaller, it would be much more ideal, especially in that 1st and 2nd grade.
Right. I mean, that's what the
grouping.
data says.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think we need it in the 4th and 5th grade because I don't think those rooms are, I did not see it across the board bursting at the seams. But those, if we could have a smaller class size for the 1st grade and the 2nd grade, I think that would make a huge difference.
What's driving the class size at that level? Is it the staffing we planned for and more kids enrolled than we expected, or the sequencing of events, or what's driving that?
Do you know that answer? I'm not sure if.
Some of it, the good thing is, as students enroll, they're able to add more staff. So you get to that point, then you can add more staff. And it is a self-funding. The more kids you have in, we're being recouped for that money.
Okay.
And I would echo it at the high or at the secondary level, particularly the high school. The freshmen, like the freshman language arts classes, the U.S. history classes, the Algebra 1 classes, are a little bit more full than, say, the Algebra 2 class or the biology class. And we had some, because of the way we worked it this year and the flexibility that we were afforded, we were able to juggle some kids and really juggle the class sizes and when keep class sizes is close to minimal as possible between teachers, where the language arts teachers were kind of bouncing kids back and forth between rooms, which was really beneficial for us, especially those last few kids towards the end of the summer who were really trying to pull through and get that last half credit. Giving them almost a 3-to-1 teacher student ratio was huge.
Thank you guys, because I know summer school is not always received as a gift by students, but it seems like it went. I mean, those success rates are amazing, and the joy is great, and that self-esteem is going to be huge going forward.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just standing. I'm going to start back down.
Next, we have the first presentation of the school year, and it is first responders. We have the first co-presentation of the school year called First Responders, and Dr. Paul Goodwin is still here with Ty Dennis to lead us through that.
Good evening again. Paul Godwin here.
Ty Dennis.
And how ironic that we're here on September 11th, recognizing our partnership with our first responders. The great thing about this is you're not going to hear me talk. You're not going to really hear Ty talk. You're going to hear these folks behind me kind of talk about who they are, where they represent themselves, and how they serve the Rockwood School District. So I'm really going to turn it over to Ty to do some introductions, and then we're going to pass the mic to these amazing individuals behind us.
For myself, I'm in my 6th year with the district, and the partnership that we have with our first responders and different departments help me do my job. Whether we call in the middle of the night to do a knock on the door, or we have an injury or whatever, I can call any one of these guys and they are right there. I've never been turned away, and I enjoy the collaboration that I have with them. Like he said, like Paul said, I didn't want to do most of the talking. I brought my partners to come speak. And so first up is going to be Chief John Bergfield from Baldwin.
Good evening. I'm John Bergfield with Baldwin Police Department. I'm the Chief of Police there. We have been, ever since came to Baldwin 30 years ago, we've had a great relationship with the Rockwood School District. I was SRO myself for several years. So Rockwood has always had a soft spot in my heart. We always respond if Ty or somebody else, one of our principals, needs something. We're trying to be a good neighbor and work with you guys. I think we've done a decent job. I check in with my SROs. I have an SRO over at Selvage. And we also, since we're so committed to our young people, the city of Baldwin, we fund when we're up to staff a elementary position. So I have one of my officers right now. They're not committed full-time, but we do have someone who is hitting our elementary schools, both in Rockwood and Parkway. So we do have that contact. I think it's really important that we start having a positive connection with our elementary students. As a former DARE officer, I saw the benefit, not necessarily of just the drug education, but it's that positive relationship, and that's why I really want to encourage that my officers get into the schools, have that positive connection, and try to work one-on-one with some of the kids.
Next up from Chesterfield Police Department, Sergeant Robert Powell.
Hey, good evening. Again, I am Sergeant Robert Powell with the Chesterfield Police Department, and I currently supervise our school resource officers. I'm sorry, first I would like to also thank Ty Dennis for inviting me out this evening and for reminding me this morning. So about 3 years ago, I was reassigned to supervise our school resource officers. And in Chesterfield, we also have what's called an elementary school resource officer. So upon this reassignment, I made it a priority to increase our presence within our elementary schools. So my first act was, in addition to having our school resource officer within our 3 elementary schools, I also made it a standard for all of our community affairs officers to also visit our elementary school. So on average, each of our elementary schools will see anywhere from 2 to 4 different police officers visiting within our schools. And the feedback I've gotten from each of our schools has been tremendous. We have an excellent relationship with our Rockwood schools, and it's only going to get better. We're constantly thinking of new programs and new ways to engage within our students. For instance, last year, we started what we call a Pops with Cops program for all of our kindergarten students. We have one of our officers to come out and bring all the kindergarten students out at each of our elementary schools and basically explain to them why they will see a police officer in their schools and to how to identify a police officer and stay away from weapons and things like that. And at the end of that presentation, we'll allow each of the students to enter into our police vehicle, turn the lights on, and then we'll reward them with a badge sticker and a popsicle, thus the Pops with Cops. So it was a huge success last year, and it's something that I've made a standard going forward, that each of our elementary schools, every year during that first month, we will have our Pops with Cops program for our kindergarten students. So again, we look forward to just building on the relationship we have with Rockwood. Thank you.
Deputy Chief Andy Vaughn from the Ellisville Police Department.
Good evening. My name is Andy Vaughn, again, the Assistant Chief of Police at the Ellisville Police Department. And so you'll hear probably a lot of the same information because we all work really well together, all of our agencies, plus we all steal ideas from each other. So that's the one time a police officer is going to be stealing, when we're stealing things from each other. So just like our friends in Chesterfield, Eureka, and Baldwin, we all value our relationship with our schools tremendously. In Ellisville, as you see the middle picture there, welcome back. We've made it a tradition the past 3 years, I believe, where the first day of school, every officer working is at the schools, welcoming the kids first day. We want them to know that we're there for them. We're there to welcome them back and make sure they know they have a safe environment to learn at. So that's been tremendously successful. I think Metro West joined us last year. They sold from us too, by the way, just so you know, but they did the same thing. Also, so in Ellisville, we don't have a high school or a dedicated SRO technically. We have several middle schools. So by that, we kind of empower all of our officers to be SROs. So part of our officers' daily duties, we actually have them. It's a mandate that we can make them do certain things, right? We can't make them go write tickets anymore. That's long and gone. We can't do that anymore. But we can make them get out in the schools. So it's part of their daily activity. They have a checklist, and the officers check in with each of their schools within their beat. That's getting out of the cars, coming into the schools, making contact, walking the halls, saying hi to the kids, saying hi to the teachers, just letting them know that we're there, letting them know that there are police in the building, that they are safe. That's what we're trying to saturate the schools with. We want a car to be in front of the building as much as possible. We want, if someone's driving by wishing to do this school harm, we want them to see a police officer, a police car in front of that building. Again, also working with the Rockwood safety officers, that's been a tremendous asset to the school district. I applaud you guys for doing that. That's been incredible. Again, we don't have SROs, but if you see the picture behind you, you might see a 6'5" police officer. He's kind of our de facto SRO in our school. We have a community policing unit we put in place about 5 years ago. Their sole purpose is to make contact with the community, and we find them in the schools often. So Sergeant George Corliss, he does a tremendous job. He's actually a former Rosa winner, which we're pretty proud of. And you might see him on a bicycle. You might see him dressed as a Jolly Green elf. You might see them at the field day for all the schools. But we stay very involved with our schools. It's something we all believe in wholeheartedly. So, again, thank you all for allowing us the opportunity to speak to you guys tonight. And if you need anything else, obviously let us know. Thank you.
From Eureka Fire Protection District, Battalion Chief Scott Cavanaugh.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Scott Cavanaugh, Battalion Chief with the Eureka Fire Protection District. We appreciate the invite here tonight. Some of the police have already said, obviously we're not police, so we do a little bit different of some of the things here. But we're very fortunate to get into our schools, to be able to see the kids very often. We go there for fire drills. We want to make sure the kids are safe as they're exiting the buildings. And we stop by to do walkthroughs, say hi to the kids, hi to the classrooms, not to interrupt them getting their education, but we feel it's very important that we are in the schools so they know who we are. We do run calls to some of the schools, so we don't want the kids to be upset or nervous, so seeing us out there is very important. We do a lot of stop the bleed classes with the teachers, CPR classes, anything that we can do. We have the kids come up to the firehouse. We give tours at the firehouse. We want them to be comfortable with us as we're coming down maybe for a call or just a public relations event. We work very well with the Rockwood School District, with the schools that we do have in our venue. Obviously, there's some other fire districts here tonight that cover some different schools within the Rockwood School District, but we all pretty much will do the same thing as we come in. So again, we appreciate the invite tonight and looking forward to the future and keep working with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. From Eureka Police Department, Chief Michael Burgess.
This keeps me on task so I just don't ramble. So I just want to say good evening and thank you for hosting us tonight. My name is Chief Michael Burgess. I'm the Chief of the Eureka Police Department. But tonight I'm here to stand here as more than the chief. I'm also a proud parent of 3 Eureka High School graduates, with 1 more still at EHS. Like them, I'm also a graduate from Eureka High School. I received my education right here in the Rockwood School District. I went to Bowles Elementary, Rockwood South Middle, and Eureka High School. The lessons I learned more than 30 years ago, along with the friendships I built in the classroom and on the field, shaped me as a father, a neighbor, and now as a police chief in this community. Rockwood's part of making me who I am. That's why the partnership between the Rockwood School District and the Eureka Police Department will be so strong. It's not just professional, it's personal to me. It's home. The partnership is lived out every day. Our school resource officers are not only there for safety, but as mentors and role models. They participate in drills, teach students about safe driving and digital responsibility, and build relationships that last long after graduation. I'd like to highlight how bold it was for the Rockwood School District to establish a school safety officer program. I've said this many times before, but I don't think it can be overstated. That decision alone showed real vision and leadership. It has become a model for other districts and a clear example of what it means to prioritize, really prioritize students, staff, safety. Together, we prepare for challenges no one hopes we will ever have to face, from active threat training and secure entrances to reunification planning. Our work ensures schools are ready and families can have peace of mind when they send their children to our schools. But it's more than safety. You'll see our officers at football games, graduations, concerts. We're not just there as guardians, but we're there as proud supporters. And when a student struggles, our officers work with teachers and counselors to make sure that no student slips through the cracks. The Rockwood School District and the Eureka Police Department share the same mission: to protect, to guide, and to prepare young people for bright futures. Together, we build a partnership that others look to emulate. On behalf of the men and women of the Eureka Police Department, I thank you, the Board of Aldermen, our Board of Aldermen, the Rockwood Board of Education. On behalf of them, we'd like to say thank you for your leadership. Thank you, Dr. Kane. You've made great changes here in the district, and they are noted. We're proud to support you, and together we are shaping not just safe schools, but a stronger community. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you. Next up, Fenton Fire Protection District Chief Romana Kaminsky.
Good evening, Board. This is tough to go after, sir. So I'm Ramona Kaminsky. I work for the Fenton Fire Protection District. I've served the community for over 27 years. We're proud to be partners with Rockwood School District. We have alumni that are now firefighters that serve the community. We have parents that have children that go to the Rockwood School District. We teach CPR, Stop the Bleed. We go into the schools to talk about safety, what's it like to go to college. We talked about all the things that we do, from drills to just safety in general, which is wonderful. But one thing I wanted to bring up that we do with the partnership is communication. We all know the importance of communication, and if we don't have that, well, it becomes a problem. We have two incidences that I can just contest to the Fenton Fire Protection District recently. One you might have seen on Facebook, which was the first day of school. Our middle school had an incident at Kellison where the alarms went off. It was just a cooking issue, nothing drastic. But because of the communication and the unified command that we have practiced, we were able to get one message out, not only to the parents, but to the community, which is a big deal because we want to make sure we continue that. The other item I want to bring up is the day before school starts. One of our children in our community had a fire. And we know how it is. I can remember as a child what it was like to go back to the first day of school. I can't imagine if I've lost several of my items and my home before I started school. We ran the call. There were no injuries. The house was definitely damaged beyond repair. They were going to have to find another place. We were lucky enough that we have communications with Rockwood School District, that we were able to take care of that child. So we talk about earlier with the how do we bring these children into the school and how do we take care of them that they feel at home and that they're ready for that first day. Between Rockwood School District and Fenton Fire Protection District, we were able to do that. And that is across the board by all the members of our first responders in this community. We would all have that ability to do that. So I thank the board this evening for having us here to share what happens on a normal basis for us and for Ty for bringing all this together. So thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Metro West Fire Protection District Chief Brad Shelton.
Good evening. My name is Brad Shelton. I'm the new fire chief of the Metro West Fire Protection District. I've worked with Metro West for 20 years. And before I worked at Metro West, I actually got a degree in elementary education from Murray State University. I was a kindergarten teacher for 1 year. That's all I can make, so I absolutely appreciate everything that the Rockwood teachers do. Metro West serves 13 Rockwood schools, and we've borrowed SROs from our fellow police officers, so we have an SRO at each one of those schools that get involved with the teachers. that we do work with the communications and things like that, so we do create good partnerships with that. We're heavily involved in the CERT programs that Rockwood did. We just did one over the summer for some of the teachers here at Rockwood. We also get involved with the Stop the Bleed and CPR, as well as the 911 response. We're always there as partners in the community, and I think that's what I appreciate most about every one of us here and every one of you all here, is we're all here for one mission, and that's, you know, to make our community stronger and better. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Next up, Monarch Fire Protection District Assistant Chief Les Cruz.
Good evening, everyone. Dr. Kane, members of the board, thank you for allowing us to be here this evening. But my name's Les Cruz. I'm the Assistant Chief for the Monarch Fire Protection District. And we cover about 62.7 square miles in West St. Louis County. Like a school board, our school district, we cover many municipalities: Chesterfield, Wildwood, Clarksville Valley, Baldwin, Maryland Heights, Creve Coeur, St. Louis County, with a population of about 60,000. We've got 5 fire stations. Each one has a fire truck, an ambulance. We got rescue trucks. We got a lot of specialized equipment. So we are proud of the service that we bring. We serve for 4 of your schools: Wild Horse Elementary, Chesterfield Elementary, Rockwood Valley Middle School, and Marquette High School. But what's more important is our partnership with you. You are our partner in public safety. And there's more interaction here. And I just got a partial list, many of which has already been said, is the things that we do together. Fire drills, the Rockwood Safety Crisis Conference coming up, emergency-based tabletop scenarios, our fire safety trailers, Stop the Bleed, CPR, the prom accident reenactments, the high five welcome backs. Who started that? Was that Baldwin? Okay, makes no difference. Rockwood School Career Days, the STEM Expos, the Reading Days, football game standbys, and the building marking systems. That's just a short menu list of all of the things that we do, and I know most of us in this room are doing the same thing. We're a team. We all have different patches on our shoulders. We represent different organizations, but when it comes to it's one team, one mission. And that mission is the safety of your students and your faculty that represent the Rockwood School District. So we welcome you. Come and visit us. Our doors are open just like your doors are open, so it's great to have a public safety partner like the Rockwood School District. I have one final thing. I'm going to ask Mary if she would help me. Monarch Fire District is going to be celebrating its 100-year anniversary on September 27th. So we're going to be having a special day. It's going to be on North Outer 40 by the factory. I'm going to leave some brochures for her since she's a communications director. Who better than to get the message out? So thank you for volunteering for that. You're on the team. Thank you.
Next up, St. Louis County Police Department Lieutenant Edward McGee.
All right, good evening. Thanks for having me. My name is Ed McGee. I'm a lieutenant with the St. Louis County Police Department. I'm out in the West County precinct, so that's the unincorporated Fenton area, all the way through unincorporated Eureka and up to the Franklin County line. We have 4 elementary schools, and we have a middle school and Rockwood Summit High School that we have the SROs at. Dan Sanders at our high school, he's been there for about 12 years. He's a valued member of our team. And Tony Beffa is the SRO at Rockwood South Middle School. He's in his 2nd year here. He's doing a really good job. One of the things that when I brought him on, I wanted to introduce to the school was a teen police academy. This year's session is going to start on October 1st. It'll be an 8-week session. So once a week, he'll have special guest speakers come in. He'll have our tactical operations unit come, bomb and arson. During Red Ribbon Week, he's going to have a detective from our drug unit come in to talk about drug prevention. And that way the students can experience a lot of aspects that our department can handle. And part of the idea is that if they're very interested in it, we can funnel them into our Explorer program for high school age kids. And that is a program that we have. So if anybody has any high schoolers that are interested in law enforcement or opportunities for leadership and volunteering opportunities, please give me a call. We'd love to have them join our Law Enforcement Explorer post. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Next up, St. Louis County Police Department Captain James Mundell.
Thank you, Ty. Good evening. I'm Captain Jim Mundell. I'm the commander of the City of Wildwood Precinct for the St. Louis County Police Department. City of Wildwood covers 68 square miles of West County, all of which is covered by the Rockwood School District. We have 8 Rockwood schools in our precinct. There's the Lafayette High School, 3 middle schools, and 4 elementary schools. We have SROs assigned at the high school and the 3 middle schools. They provide assistance to each of the elementary schools that are close by to those existing schools with the SROs. On top of that, our neighborhood policing unit provides support to those elementary schools also. Starting off this year, there were two issues with traffic at Lafayette High School and Green Pines Elementary School. So worked very closely with both principals at those schools. I think we're in a very good place now with their plans, and it was their plans. The police did not go in there and tell them what to do with it. They came up with their own plans. We were there to advise, help, support, and follow through. So turned out very well. Had the pleasure this morning of being at Lafayette for the memorial service there, so we enjoyed that. Several of our officers attended also. Ty asked for a picture, which I'm glad I didn't send him like a glamour shot picture, but he gave me trouble about the picture on the end there with my mask on. That was from a couple years ago, obviously, but that drug take-back box was actually provided to our precinct from the Rockwood School District's Partners in Prevention program. So we're very appreciative of that. That box is pretty much emptied weekly. It gets a lot of traffic in our precinct lobby. And on the end there is when Dr. Kane came to the district. He's at our back-to-school event with our school resource officers. So we appreciate the partnership and look forward to a great future. Thank you.
So as obviously there was a lot of things shared and a lot of greatness, but some key takeaways. There's obviously enhanced safety in the Rockwood School District because of the folks that we have behind us. I think what I've learned in the past year is we're proactive. There's a collaborative planning that just takes place naturally sometimes, and sometimes it is very much planned. The community resilience, I heard it over and over again that it's not one entity, it's everybody working together. That team mindset has been, I've seen it firsthand over this past year. It's amazing to see what Ty does with our first responders and how they work as a collective unit. And I think I also heard it multiple times is it's about our students and their well-being, and just the sense of security that these folks do bring to our entire school district is absolutely amazing. So I think we should give them a round of applause for all that they do. Any questions?
I just have a curiosity question. Just like education, we are facing a crisis with the amount of people going into education. Are you feeling that crunch in police and fire? I'm seeing a lot of shaking of heads.
And that's a very good question. I would say pre-COVID, Chesterfield, we went to a spell where we weren't, which was very unusual for us. We weren't getting a lot of traction for the openings we had. But I would say that the tide has been turning, at least for us over the past couple of years, where we've seen a tremendous uptick in the number of applicants and quality applicants that we've been receiving. So yeah, there was certainly a few years where we were a little bit nervous because a lot of people just for various reasons, wasn't interested in law enforcement. But we've seen the tide turn a little bit over the past couple of years.
Anyone else?
Not a question, but maybe a comment. You know, as you all talked, as everybody talked, I grew up out on the East Coast. And police in the bigger cities out there weren't always the nicest people you wanted to see in the school. Normally when they came in, their role was to catch, investigate, or punish in some way, shape, or form. But what I heard everybody here say, what I heard the theme was help, support, and partner. And I think that's just a great way to make sure we bring up our young kids that way. all right, that, the police, the fire department, any of our first responders are there. They're part of our partnership. They're part of support. They're where you go to get help. And it's just fantastic to hear from all of you. And I hope you just appreciate that. Given the size of Rockwood, we have multiple departments to coordinate with. So certainly my hat's off to Ty and all the work he's done here over the time, at least I've been on the board anyway, to make sure that's a working partnership. Sounds very much like it is. And also my hat's off to Dr. Kane, because I know you've made this a priority since you've been in Rockwood, to make sure, first, to try to prevent an event so we don't have it, but God forbid if we do have it, that we will respond and we will respond well. So thank you to all of you.
I have one last comment. On the first day of school, when we did visits, there was an SRO at one of the buildings. We were short-handed staff in the cafeteria, and our SROs are truly embedded, and they are treated like part of the staff of those schools. And he stepped in to help in the cafeteria line as kids were checking out for breakfast. So that just shows the partnership. If the schools need a hand, they step up in multitude of ways. So we are so very grateful. And the other thing is the state legislation that came out. Rockwood doesn't have a lot of work to do because of the partnership that we've been doing for many years, as long as I've been involved in PTOs, the collaboration. Because of you all working together as a team, we're sitting in a great spot here with the state legislation that was just passed. So thank you so much for your work and coming to the annual meetings and the workshops and providing your input, because as a parent, I've never felt like my kids were not safe in Rockwood schools.
And I think the important thing is that the kids feel safe too. Because if they don't feel safe, learning is difficult.
Any other questions?
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you. You guys are welcome to stay. We have to do a safety presentation. Some of you guys know.
I think we got all the confidence in the world, Ty, that you got this.
Now is the time to go. Now's the time to go.
That's why I figured. Ty's got this. He's got our support. Dr. Paul, too.
I know.
You're doing good. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you so much.
She looks different in her uniform.
Thanks, man.
I know.
He just keeps hurrying. We're back.
Thank you.
Third
Thank you.
time's a charm for this guy.
That was an excellent choice for tonight. Thank you for
Thank you.
taking the time to put that together. And thank you to COPE. Great idea.
I was just going to say kudos to Cope. That was absolutely fantastic.
Okay, well, you guys are still here.
Good evening, board. Dr. Kane. Good morning, but not morning yet.
I think you're like in the principal's office or something. You're in the hot seat there.
And so, 9.03, school safety plan update. So let's hear it.
All right, you heard a lot of it behind us, so we're just going to go to the end and say thank you for. No. Okay, so really when we talk about safety, there is a lot of people think physical safety, but when we break it down into our school district, we talk about 6 areas of safety with personnel, physical safety, protocols, training, social and emotional security, and communication. And Ty and I are going to go back and forth and kind of give a little bit of highlight of what this looks like in the Rockwood School District.
Our physical safety is basically our secured entrances, color-coded signage and arrows, barricades, safety glass film, visitor management system, internal two-way communication, multi-layer cyber security, crisis call center, bus safety, 911 alerts, intruder alarms, security cameras, and locked doors. All those things are our first line of defense. When you go into any of our buildings, I think at one point Mary had us, I had to do a interview with the Eureka paper, and the moment we got out of the car, it was so many safety measures as we walked into the building that she was in amazement. It was like, just like with the balls out front and the doors being locked, and as you look up, there's a camera. One of the SSOs was accompanying us. All these things are there for a reason. We want our staff and students to feel safe. We want them to be safe, where that's the least of their worries. We try to prepare ourselves before anything ever was to happen. Our personnel, of course, myself, I'm the safety supervisor. The picture that you see up is the team of men and women that I supervise. They make my job easy. The SROs, the SSOs, all of them are seasoned police officers where I don't have to babysit them. They know we have a line of communication with the people that just left as well as with them to communicate, to get that information up to upper admin, Mary and her team, to be able to get the information out to our community as soon as possible. Our crisis response team, schools, counselors, social workers, behavior support department, hall monitors, and parking attendants. All those people encompass safety for this district. It's not just me, it's a team of us. Our protocols, district crisis planning, school crisis planning, incident command meetings, emergency drills, supervision of schools, mental health resources, and community partnerships, all these things play a huge part in these things in our collaboration. Training, option-based response, health response AD, CPR, annual employee training, stop the bleed training, and CERT training. These are other partnerships that we're trying to equip our staff and those that participate with as much as possible. As with CERT training, they just did it this summer. It was awesome. Stop the bleed. A lot of this stuff is not preparing them just for school. It prepares them away from school. Some of the things that, even with intruder training, a lot of parents call after every time there's a school shooting. They call my office, and I have to explain it to them that if they don't learn it here, where they're going to learn it. And so we want them to participate.
In addition to, and I'm going to kind of lean on Steve if we need to get there, but not only is it the physical and the personnel, we talk about the social and emotional security of students and staff. And one thing that I know Steve and I said a lot last year as we were going through our CSIP planning is our staff is really that first line of defense. It is that connection that we have with students. It's that champion relationship that we have students. If they have that someone they can trust and go to, that's going to create that safe and supportive school environment. So that's why we have champions there at the top, because it is such an important piece of what takes place in the school building. And I know Teresa and Rick referred to it this morning, or early, it seems like it was that long ago, with Summer Academy. The relationship that our staff members make with the students is absolutely amazing. We have our second step curriculum that's in the elementary levels. We have character education. We have anti-bullying initiatives. With that, we have the work that we're doing with dignity and belonging that is setting that foundation, setting the stage of how do we treat one another. We have Pathways Wellness Center, restorative practices, and with our codes of conduct, it's our guideline of this is what we can and can't do, because unfortunately there are consequences at times, but this kind of shapes out and maps out what our expectations are in the Rockwood School District. I think Mary was referenced a couple times by our first responders. The communication team that we have in Rockwood is absolutely phenomenal. There's so many different branches to it and how effective it is in all aspects of the Rockwood School District. We have our two-way radios. We have the crisis workshop coming up in a couple weeks. Parent Square, district and school websites, social media monitoring service, and 10 steps to our crisis communication. I can tell you that Bob and Brad, with the technology aspect, and I'll kind of talk on Strategos in a minute, but the knowledge that they have when it comes to the technology piece of what's going on in our schools, it's a whole nother language. I won't even begin to try and explain it, but the work that they do behind the scenes to keep the things digital, safe in our district is absolutely amazing.
Paul, can I jump in really quickly?
Absolutely.
As we look at that document, Forward Together, Safe and Caring Schools was purposely commingled because they are part and parcel of each other. Actually, to your point, Dr. Godwin, it is absolutely the very first step is that our students feel safe, seen, and are walking their hallways in our classroom spaces with a sense of dignity. It absolutely correlates and completely dovetails back to every single safety component that we happen to have. You can't have one without the other. And it's one thing to talk about it, but how the district goes about enacting this is absolutely making a difference in our schools. So
we just hit the sixth piece of how we look at safety in the school district. And something that I'm really excited, I'm hoping down the road we'll be sharing more information about this work with Strategos International. They are a company that's coming in and doing a safety assessment of our Rockwood School District. And they're not just looking at, are the doors locked? They are a thorough group of folks, and we don't have time to go through the list of credentials of their military background, police background, you name it. It is an extensive list, and we just started with 4 schools last week, and they return on Monday, and they're going to hit every single building in the school district, not just with students, but with staff as well, our maintenance, transportation garage, you name it. They're literally touching every single door, and I think wire. Brad got to walk with me, and they're looking at every single thing of how can we make our safety envelope the most impactful. And I can tell you this, we're not done, but the first 4 schools, talking with the gentleman who was walking around with us, he was impressed with what we already have in place in the Rockwood School District. We are definitely on the right path. What we're trying to do is improve and beef up what we currently have. So whether it's the first intruder alert system, whether it's additional cameras, again, the scope is so large that I'm very excited to get those reports back, and we'll have a comprehensive list as a district as to these are some recommendations that we can do to improve what we already have in place here in the Rockwood School District. And that is a very quick
version.
But like I said, those guys and the ladies behind us covered quite a bit of what we do in the Rockwood School District when it comes to safety. Any questions?
What's your timing on the Strategos? When do you expect to have a report back from them?
They're going to wrap up their assessments the first week of October.
Okay.
And they say 30 to 60 days after, but Matt,
First of the year.
the Matt that I was talking with, he's expecting 2 weeks after each site visit. Again, knowing the depth that he was assessing and the thoroughness he had, 2 weeks would be very quick, in my opinion, just judging by the conversations that we have. The survey that each building took was 90-something questions. So that was the preliminary, and then they do a stakeholder meeting at each site, and then they literally walk almost every square foot of the building inside and out.
And so then what are the next steps after that? After you get the
It's kind of a
report back?
three-phase process. Right now, phase 1 is getting in and doing the assessment.
Right.
And they're going to come in and, like I said, evaluate everything. Phase 2 is they're going to provide the reports and
Right.
give the recommendations of this is what we think you all should do with an urgency list. Like, what's the highest priority? And then he's also pointing out the good things that are taking place. Because, again, the first 4 schools, we made changes that day because there's some very low-hanging fruit of things that we can do this right now. And so some of that is going to be super easy. Buildings can do on their own. Some may be a work order through, our facilities department, and some of it may be a larger discussion because there might be a larger price tag on some things. And then the third one is, and with that recommendation, what are the products that match what we currently have? That's the cost savings piece that we're going with this, because as opposed to rip and replace everything, it's going to be what is already married to the systems that we have. And that's where Brad and Bob have been fantastic of, this is what we currently have, what's going to match with that.
Thank you.
Can we expect like an action plan coming to the board of steps that will be taken as a result of all of this data and gathering?
Their initial will be, here's what we recommend, here's the highest priority, here's the lowest priority, and then I think as a cabinet, we're going to have some conversation about what that looks like, what's feasible, what's manageable, what can we do in-house, and what's going to take.
And that'll come back to the board. So we can
Absolutely.
We will keep the board up to speed in terms of where things stand, but I know there are a lot of questions about transparency, but I do want to be really, really clear here. This is a topic. This is not like the demographic study. There are components that we have to be very, very mindful of in terms of public disclosure and release. It is not to hide, but it is to protect certain details because, as Dr. Godwin mentioned, this notion of a safety envelope is critical, and we can't have all of the particulars floating around.
I would just like to make one comment of both the presentation here and the 2 preceding ones. Less about the detail of this presentation, but the theme I'll take out of this is how well integrated we are. You're talking with our social side, you're talking with this side, we're talking with communications. And that's a theme I've seen in a lot of our Rockwood presentations, is we have a lot fewer silos than a lot of other schools and organizations do. And I think that's a credit to the cabinet and to the leadership of the district. And so I just want to thank you for that, because by working together like that that helps make sure we've covered our gaps, but also make sure we're providing holistic support to the rest of our staff and to the kids. And I think that's just hats off and my compliments to the cabinet for the way you operate that way. It shows.
And I think what makes that even more amazing is the size of our organization as well. To be able to do it across all of our buildings, it's a lot of work, so thank you.
And just as a parent and a teacher, thank you guys, because it does mean a lot when you know that that safety is considered. Sending your kids with peace of mind, knowing it weighs heavily, I know, on everyone, so.
Certainly a
Thank
top
you.
priority.
I think a kudos goes to the Board of Education, whether it's been Strategos, whether it's been our school safety officers. You've asked questions, you've had curiosities and wonderings, but you've always been supportive of the efforts that we've engaged in. And so school districts have a check and balance system, and it's important to always recognize and remember that. But that integration doesn't just stop with staff. It also extends to our governance components as well. So we appreciate what you continue to do and provide.
Well, speaking of what we do and provide, we are now at 9.04, adoption of Board of Education meeting dates, so we can keep doing and providing. Huh?
I got it.
Where are you going?
Talk about it.
Dr.
Warmed up now.
All right. This actually has a motion, and it is to approve the Board of Education meeting calendar for August through December 2026 and January through July 2027. Oh, my gosh.
So moved.
Any discussion? Okay, ready? Hearing no discussion, we will take a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Next is 10.01, proposed agenda for the September 25, 2025 Board of Education meeting. It's up there. It's going to be great. And 10.02, future agenda presentations and events to attend. Gets busier and busier. It's a busy time of the year to begin with, plus some of the other things that we will be doing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So get your running shoes on. Get your scooter ready.
I got wheels now.
Don't worry, Gary, I'll let the bus leave without you.
Yeah.
Just saying from
I
experience.
still say she needs a bell.
Ouch.
Put a little motor on it.
Okay. And with that, this meeting is adjourned.